A father of three. Tonight, 3 officers are under investigation for possible excessive force.
This happened May 20th near Highway 151 and Loop 1604. The victim, who is recovering from injuries to his face and skull, says he reached out to the I-Team because he claims SAPD Internal Affairs dragged its feet.
Our Dylan Collier is live now with his KENS 5 I-Team exclusive. Dylan?
Deborah and Jeff, every week we receive a handful of complaints from viewers via email or phone calls lodging complaints against law enforcement agencies throughout South Texas. In a majority of those cases, those claims are unfounded, and we move on to another story. This case may be the exception. Roger Carlos says he had time to burn the afternoon of May 20th.
Before I go pick up my children from school.
Looking back on that day, he regrets his decision to stop by the future site of his wife's medical practice. Around 2:20, as Roger snapped photos of the building near Westover Hills Boulevard and Rogers Road, San Antonio police headed his way in hot pursuit of 27-year-old Josue Gonzalez, wanted on a felony warrant. A police report of the incident says Gonzalez and the officers hit speeds nearing 80 miles an hour along the Highway 151 access road before exiting at Westover Hills. Gonzalez ditched his car in a parking lot, then ran away. It's at this point that the story hits a fork in the road, with the officers and Roger recounting 2 different versions of what happened.
I was standing right over here.
Roger says a man in plain clothes, later identified as an undercover drug task force officer, pulled up in a truck and got out.
He's coming at me pretty quick, and he's looking right at me like he's angry at me or something, you know.
Roger says the officer ordered him to get down, then struck him in the face before he even had time to comply.
It wasn't his fist and it wasn't his foot. I don't know what it was. It seemed like a radio or something like that.
The undercover officer was soon joined on scene by 2 SWAT officers.
All 3 of them just started beating me on the head, and this guy's elbowing me as fast as he can on this side.
The beating appeared to be quick, but was undisputably violent. The officers pummeled Roger, he says, about 50 times. He ended up with a large gash above his eye, a broken tooth, and swelling so severe, doctors performed a CAT scan of his head to check for internal injuries.
Shortly after that, another officer came back and said that we got him over here. So at that point, he realized that they had the wrong guy.
Well, clearly it was a case of mistaken identity, but...
Chief William McManus told the I-Team Internal Affairs has opened an investigation of the 3 officers and intends to forward its findings to the department's Advisory Action Board. McManus will eventually receive the board's recommendation before deciding on a suitable punishment. A critical aspect of that investigation will be whether Roger complied with the officer's instructions. He told the I-Team his hands were out to his sides as he got on the ground. McManus said the officers detailed a different narrative in their report on the case, and that Roger failed to show his hands when lying on the ground, and they had no idea if he had a weapon.
I haven't seen anything that would indicate to me that it, as in your words, went too far, but it's not for me to decide at this point.
You know, I can understand the need for that and securing them, but that's not what happened. I got on the ground. I was of no threat to anybody. I was fully compliant.
And officers said they found a sawed-off shotgun and ammo in the car of Josue Gonzalez, who was eventually arrested, as well as more than 20 grams of methamphetamine below a car near where he fled on foot. The names of the officers involved in this incident have not been released and likely won't be made public unless they are suspended or fired as a result of this investigation. Roger, meanwhile, who has no criminal record, is in the process of looking at hiring an attorney, and this week filed a complaint against the officers with the FBI. With the I-Team, Dylan Collier, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.